In this video, I take a bare chunk of a stock and I shape it to a more comfortable and nicer looking stock. And what I did is I lost a bunch of the video, but I'm going to just kind of talk about it really quick. Start, when you're shaping, use something very, very aggressive like this Sureform or this big heavy duty rasp, these aggressive wood rasps. That's how you want to shape your wood. That's the way you want to do it kind of quick. And then once you kind of get the shape you want, then you start to smooth out all those big rasping marks with something like a wood file. This is a file that I use only for wood, and it just cuts really nice and it smooths things out. Once I start smoothing out, and then the last thing I'll do is with sandpaper. So start real aggressive and progress to smaller, finer, grits and things like that. But take your time. You're gonna get what you want. Don't rush this. Spend time, do good work, take each step. Don't be in a hurry. All right. You're gonna have this gun for the rest of your life. Put a couple of more hours into it now. All right, and you'll be happy. You'll be able to show this gun off when you go to the range, when you have friends over at the house. Hey, look what I did, look what I made. Don't rush through it and go, yeah, I should put more time into it. Don't be that guy. All right, enjoy the video and like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you soon. This is that Boyd stock. This is for an M1 Garand. And you're going to see that this thing is a chunk. It's very fat. Very fat around the wrist, very fat at the forearm, very fat at the base of the stock too. So with a combination of files and rasps and things like that, we're going to give this thing a big diet. We're going to take it down, make it a little skinnier thing. And I want to get it down to where it matches the butt plate. I want to get it down to where the wood matches against the metal. We're not going to do anything to change dimensions where the barrel and the action lock together. That's critical as far as holding the gun together and taking all the slack out of that. So we want to leave that the same. We're just changing the outside dimensions of the rifle stock itself. So a lot of filing and sanding and rasping ahead of us. Now, another thing I want to do is I'll make this a little bit more of a pistol grip. So I'm going to change the contour there. Other than that, we're going to keep the M1 Garand contour with the exception of maybe change that pistol grip. And this thing's going to lose a little bit of weight, lose a lot of size. All right, so here's where we are so far. I took a lot of beef out of that wrist of the stock, and I gave it a much more, almost to a 90 degree. So we got a lot more of a pistol grip, keeping very, very conscious of symmetry. So I've got, trying to keep things even on both sides. And I haven't yet begun to really thin things out yet. I just wanted to change that profile. And now we'll take it, we'll thin things down. And what I'm going to do is I want to get that butt plate to where it matches. You'll see here there's a lip all the way around. I'm trying to get the stock to be the same size so there's a smooth transition from stock to that butt plate. And you can see the butt plate is undersized all the way around. So we've got a lot of thinning to do. But once that's done, we'll put the metal in. We'll get the metal to match up as best we can. But that's where we are so far. Like I said, we took a little bit of beef out of that, kind of made it more of a pistol grip. Now we'll just start thinning it down. For all that shaping, the tool I probably used the most was a Sureform. You've probably seen these used in like drywall and things like that. But it was taking the wood down at a pretty good rate. The other tool I used was a wood rasp. And this one is an old wood rasp. It used to belong to my grandfather. It does say Craftsman on the side, so it was probably made in the U.S. Good steel. Never touched metal, so it's still sharp. And I was able to take a lot of wood off very quickly with the big rasp. Then I came by later with the file and kind of smooth things up. All right, we've done our shaping, and like I said, I gave it a little bit more of a pistol grip, and I wanted to highlight that comb a little bit, so I took it down here in front of the comb, shaped it behind the with the pistol grip here, and you can tell just by the way that butt plate fits. We took a lot of beef. We took a lot of beef out of there. Whereas it was sticking out quite a bit. Now we got a nice flush to the butt plate. Now I've got it sanded with, I did 180 grit sandpaper on it, brought it all pretty consistent. Now I'm going to put boiled linseed oil on it, and we'll match up the front and the rear forearms. All right, let's go get this thing oiled up. I'm going to put a little boiled linseed oil in just a little cup, and I'm doing that just so I don't contaminate the whole quart of boiled linseed oil. And I'm using a 4/0 steel wool pad to apply it. A lot of guys like to use their hands, and I do too, but at the same time, with that 4/0 steel wool, I'm going to apply it and kind of give it a final smoothing over. And then we'll wipe it down later. So I'm just going to dip and just kind of mop it on there. This first coat is going to be put on quite heavily because I know that that bare wood is going to soak a lot of this in. We already got a pretty nice color. See, there's the oiled and the dry. It gives it a nice little color. I'm not gonna stain this. I'm just gonna go with that natural walnut color. It's not the most beautiful piece of walnut. It's not that that like those old Winchesters, but it's not a bad piece of wood. Like I said, we're laying this on kind of heavy. We'll let it soak in. Then we'll wipe off the excess here in about, I'll let it sit for about maybe 20 minutes, half hour. For that first coat of linseed oil, I did use that 4/0 steel wool, and I was able to kind of rub into it, and like my final coat of sanding. And every coat of linseed oil after that, I would just put on a drop or two and rub it in with my hands. But that first coat, you really do want to soak it. You really do want to get it on, kind of liberally let that oil soak into the wood for about 20 minutes, and then wipe it off with a paper towel and let it hang for 24 hours after that. All right, well, here's our finished product. Got it put back on the rifle, and it really did change the look of this gun. The stock turned out really well. As you can see, we do have that little bit of the that pistol grip stock, and I did kind of cut the comb down a little bit. I do like how that pistol grip sets my hand farther back, because I got big hands, gives me a little better reach onto that trigger. The grain of this wood kind of surprised me. It looks so nice. There's not really a whole lot to it. This is with 4 coats of boiled linseed oil, and it'll probably get better with some time. That linseed oil tends to make it kind of turns red over time when it starts to oxidize. But it's looking really brown right now, but it will get that nice kind of that ready rusty look to it, and it will match the both the hand guards. But got it all put back together. It's how I like it. I think it's looking great. Looks a lot better than the birch stock that was on here. And now we're off to the range. Thanks for watching.